Archives Diaries returning with the Red Krayola, the second album, and maybe much maligned. God bless the Red Krayola and all who sail with it.
Of spare ribs, fat wine, tell me that what in the world can I do?
It's their second album, The Red Krayola, on International Artists. As you saw, it was my original white label promo. Stereo though, right? Yeah, but DJ copy. It says stereo on the sleeve. I believe it's a stereo. Yeah, I just double checked. It is stereo. I don't know if this came out in mono because it was 1968. Their second album, out of Texas, of course, led by Mayo Thompson. Dick Ray and Mayo Thompson here. Mayo Thompson. And whoever this guy is, Steve Cunningham. A very different record than The Parable of Arable Land, which was free-form freakouts mixed in with sort of really amazing sort of like bombastic psychedelia and some great songs. Spaceman 3 covered a song off that album. But this is just like strange, broken songs, strange, broken, almost folk songs. It's super hard to even describe this. I don't think a lot of people like this. I think it's amazing. It's not necessarily a psych record, but it is definitely an acid record. Leland Rogers putting this one out on International Artists. We are ambitious. We will hide the things we are afraid of, directing our interests of that which we are not afraid in light of the music of all peoples. We have noticed how intentional or how international sounds are present in the music that we make. Music has to do with people listening. As FRB Raffo says, music is delicious. People listening is, after all, a part of the musical process. Quite simply, we hope that you will enjoy our music. Many didn't. And it's a strange offbeat, off-kilter record. I think they were just trying to piss off Leland Rogers, apparently, if you ask me. But Mayo Thompson would soon after make Corky's Debt to His Father, which is an amazing album. Probably is better than this, as much as I love this. One I need to re-hunt down after selling my reissue. But yeah, this one, I got this for super cheap eBay situation some years ago now. But I just love this perspective. It doesn't sound like anything else. You have these vocalists. It's all very short songs, by the way. The song Coconut Hotel is on this, which was a separate album recorded, I think, after this, which was never released until many years later by Drag City. You know, Mayo Thompson has an interesting career. Really, someone should... Really, he'd be a good subject for a documentary because he was around for the psychedelic 60s in Texas. You know, compatriots with the 13th Floor Elevators. Then he was around for the punk movement. I mean, he was a part of Rough Trade. And releasing records, sort of art rock, no wave records, a little bit like James Chance, or a little bit like anyway, they were made a little like a Pro Ubu. That's what he was doing in the late 70s, early 80s, and then he kept making music and was even making stuff into the 90s. He was doing stuff with Steve Albini and Jim O'Rourke in the 90s. There's that self-titled album, which I have over here somewhere. But yeah, we have like studio experiments, studio trickery, and it's produced by the Red Krayola, self-produced. Yeah, a very different affair. God bless the Red Krayola and all who sell with it. Let's take out the Bible. I already know this entry. I've read this entry. It's not positive or long for whatever reason. So let's get to it. They barely even they don't really even give the Parable of Arable Land its due. It lists these as together. Parable of Arable Land with God Bless the Red Krayola, listed as a rarity 1. Let's see. Experimental Art School Psych and Avant featuring Mayo Thompson. The first LP is more listenable, a fun over-the-top freak-out typical of the era, with some good songs buried in the chaos. It's not for everyone, but did help to cement IA's standing as mythical weirdo label back in the 70s. True. I think it's amazing. It's a top psych record for me. The box set reissues can be identified via matrix numbers, blah, blah, blah. They changed their spelling to Red Krayola with a K, which is what we see here. By the time of their second LP, which contains 19 minimalist song fragments, Mayo moved to New York after his solo LP and took up the Red Krayola moniker again. See, they already skipped over it. He recorded the Mayo Thompson album after this album. In the late 70s and early 80s, the group recorded several interesting art rock albums, including collaborations with the group Art and Language, and Mayo has continued to put out challenging avant rock releases. The band has a few unreleased 1960s era tracks on Epitaph for a Legend, and there's also a CD's worth of such material titled Coconut Hotel from 1996 on Drag City. All reissues, interesting enough, are vinyl sourced, as the mixed down masters were lost in the early 70s, so I don't know if that's true, but yeah, we're listening to maybe the third or fourth track now. Every track is like 2 or 3 minutes long, or less. An experimental sort of avant folk-y art rock, sparse minimalist record. It sounds like they were listening to Stockhausen or Cage or something, making this music. I don't know, but I dig it, and this is for people who aren't necessarily interested in the obvious late 60s psych sound. I think this is a great one. There it is. So that's it, the Red Krayola from 1968. God bless the Red Krayola and all who sail with it. Acid Archives Diaries.